here in Roswell, New Mexico for the final 2 rounds of the NATC National MotoTrials Series. And since Hannah came with me on this trip and there hasn't been a whole lot of video from previous rounds, figured she would come out and get some shots for you guys. She's just going to use her phone, so don't expect too much, but hopefully it's still worth watching. She's just finishing up practice here on Friday and feeling all right. Definitely don't feel like I was able to get as much riding in before this as I wanted to between Arizona and here in New Mexico, but I'm going to give it my all and see where I end up. Saturday went really well for me. I started out riding pretty loose. The first few sections were on the easy side, but then section 5 had a couple big hits in it, and some of my competitors made some mistakes and ended up getting some 5s. So I knew I had a little bit of a buffer since I cleaned it on the first loop. And going into section 9 and 10, there were a couple more pretty difficult spots. And first loop, I kind of went into conservation mode and took some safety lines that I thought I would probably end up getting a 1 or 2, and I did just that. And I was a little bit frustrated after that because 5 points isn't all that much. I had taken 3 on the first loop and didn't really think I had that much of a gap going into the second loop, so I knew I needed to turn it around and go for the clean lines, which is what I ended up doing on the second and third loops. I did have one mistake on section 9 on the second loop. Took a different line, what I should have in the first place, but I hit it a little bit too hard and spun and lost balance and barely saved a 1. And on the third loop, I managed to clean everything, so I'm really happy to be able to turn around my strategy a little bit and finish strong. Definitely happy with the bike and the way it was running up here. We're at a bit of elevation, but had plenty of power for the sections that we had. But it feels great to win on a day like today because everybody's riding so well. So gotta give it up to those guys for pushing me. Didn't know exactly where they were at, but I just tried to keep pushing to the end and finish strong. So hopefully can end on a good note tomorrow for the last round of the season. Well, I really wanted to go out and just have fun today, but unfortunately that didn't happen. The sections were on the easy side for sure, and I knew it was going to be a very low scoring event. The first loop I had one mistake on section 7 or 8, I believe. Just didn't give it quite enough power. It was an angled approach on a loose hillside, and I didn't trust the traction, so I was a little bit easy on the gas and had to take a 1 there. And after that I was really hoping for some more hard sections. Unfortunately it didn't come, so I cleaned from there on out. And it was really stressful to have such a low scoring event with such good riders here. Josh was riding really well and really pushed me. I knew he had 1 point early on, and I knew that I had to be on my game. So had a lot of pressure, a lot of stress going into the third loop, especially that section that I took the point on the first loop. But I was able to keep it clean and gotta be happy with that. You only ride the sections you're given, and they did do a great job for the time they had. Can't blame anyone for easy sections. Everybody's got to ride the same thing, and luckily I was able to keep it together today, and the bike ran great. Really made some of that stuff that looks really hard, made it pretty easy. So I'm definitely happy to end the season on a good note, and this will keep me pushing for next year.